Right, so I'm just getting the brush with the orange on it now, and then here and there, just in here, I'm going to tap some of that orange colour so that we've got some of this orange glow coming all the way into this grass, because you've got that through here as well, some of that orange stuff. See it in there and that? Tiniest bit of detail just in there. I want to bring some of that orange through into these areas because it's very, very bright in here. Very, very bright with this orange. That's it. We've got the slightest amount of the orange coming and zinging straight over into there, a tiny bit. You know, just a bit into there. A little bit back there maybe. Just a few little bits of the orange. Happy. Right, so now it's time to get brave and have a go with these trees. So I'm just going to mix the colour up for the trees. Now, it's not an actual green I'm going to be using. I'm going to be using green in the colour. Just because there's green in the colour, it's not going to look green. It's just the slightest tinge of that. Black, blue, green, crimson, a lot of crimson. Mix that up, good dark colour. Bit more of the blue into that as well. That's good. You need to mix this really, really well. At the moment I'm a bit too much to the crimson side, but you cannot tell until you properly mix the colour really well with the palette knife. So I'll mix that first and then get a bit of white and check it. Yeah, it's done far too much, so I'll need all that blue into there and then mix it again really good. We're getting somewhere near what I was wanting. A bit more blue into that colour. Really, really good dark colour for us to use is this. Bit more of the sap green into that. Maybe some of the light yellow, light green into that also. All in colours, but it's just going to look good and dark like so. Now I'm just going to use a filbert brush. I'll show you how I'm going to load it for this. Sorry, I'll use a filbert brush for the branches, for the leaves of the tree, but I'm going to use a fan brush actually for the tree trunk itself. So you load your fan brush both sides straight through, so you've got a sharp edge, a really sharp chiseled edge on your brush, and then with that I'm going to just scale out where I want my tree to be. So I know it's coming up quite high, but when it's up here it's thin, and down here it's quite fat. So I'm going to start up in here and just pull down. See, just at the base of the tree, I'm wanting it to come at a bit of an angle like so. Right, so again, chiseled edge, nice sharp chiseled edge, and I'm just going to come from up here with the small edge at the top. Just allow it to just come down. fatter and fatter as it comes down. So I want this trunk to be even fatter than that actually. That's not fat enough. Block inside it. You might want to use a small fan brush for this. You might find it easier with a smaller brush. It's just that I like doing it this way. Now I know that that has one that comes onto it like so. Probably the fattest one is that. And then we've got one that comes off from over here that's quite thin. And it comes down to there. Now that's the fatness I was wanting. Nice little bit on the bottom of the tree, just in there. And then behind this we're going to have a shadow for this tree. A shadow for the trunk of the tree. Now you get to that stage, I'm just going to use a liner brush. So in here I've got some thinners, some paint thinners. The simple thing that I do, grab my palette, just pick some of that up, and I want to put a small amount of it in my paint just there. Mix it so that it's thin like ink, as we always do when we're doing these trees and the branches. Pull it to a very sharp point. I'll put that palette down so I've got a steady hand. And then just up in here, got areas where we want some trunks to come out and stuff. And same on the tops of these. Turn them into proper branches. See, some people can like to do these trees just with a liner brush, and you should feel free to do that. Build it up like a skeleton. The limbs of the skeleton and the rest of the tree is being held up by the skeleton. So even just over in here we've got a few trunks that are coming out and holding some lovely leaves up and stuff just in there. I really adore doing trees. I love painting trees. That's it. And also up in here as well. Put a few little branches going in. A lot of these things really do have a lot of character, you see, so you got to get plenty of branches in so that it fits and so it looks right. There's plenty of leaves on this, so it needs a lot of stuff to hold that up. There. So then I'll just maybe put a little tippy top on that. Big tree though. a big old tree. A lot of the limbs will actually end up being covered up. I only want a few of the limbs to show through, but you know they're there. That's the main thing. There. Now with the contrast with this tree in front of all this, where the light is coming from, it really will help the effect that I'm trying to create. It'll suddenly just appear to you all exactly what I'm trying to do. Now just on that, I want that to just gently down to there. Same thing on that. Just let a root come out and it'll just disappear off. See, what we're going to have, we're going to have a shadow for this, which comes through somewhere about there it is, and it comes right from this tree. So right underneath it, you want that shadow. Well, that shadow will actually vanish off. It'll disappear. So what you do is you just use a big brush to blend it, and you can just gently blend over that. Make it soft. Soft as can be. In fact, with that green, might even come up. Just tap into that a bit more. See, that just makes it look subtle then. Makes the effect just look subtle. Get rid of a few bits of that orange. I want a few in there, but not too much. So we've got a little shadow for his trunk coming through. Now, I'm going to use a filbert now with that same colour, which I was just using. And then just in the tops of these, I'm going to add some little leaves. On the edges, I want the leaves to be quite open. See that? So you can see the sun through them. Just up in here, I want you to be able to see the sun through these. So don't tap with too much pressure. There. And then on the edges, I've got some stuff coming out a bit more. And then in there it gets quite dark and blocked in. Just with a few bits of light showing through here and there. This actually comes right down here and then it goes out a bit more. Just in there. Remember, these are just the limbs are just a skeleton for this tree. I did this knowing that I would end up going over quite a lot of that tree. Now, just over here, open top again. And that's coming right down to about there. And then this actually comes over and joins to this. And then you can fill in a bit heavy behind. And you want to leave the light showing through on the edges, very gentle, and that'll help you show the light through. And then underneath that you can really put some good dark in for the shadows. It's always good and dark in there, right deep in them shadows. I love painting trees. Right. Now again we've got this little limb just coming out there. I'm just going to put a few little leaves on that limb. Just like so. The leaf bits showing through as well. Here and there, just leave some of the limbs showing, just now and again, that you put in from before. It's a very open tree, a very closed up tree, sorry. You can only see a few of them branches. If you're gentle, you can put the leaves in without destroying the branches, like, you know, they'll still be there. I am loving this big old tree. We have these in our local park and stuff. And they're absolutely gorgeous. I think it's like a quite an old birch tree or something like that. Not a silver birch, just a normal birch. Now, it's very important, got a few little hanging down, see that? Little hanging down limbs, just there. Now I'm going to put orange into this, as though we've got like an orange glow. So I'm not going to go too far down on that right hand side of the tree. I'm going to retain that. See, even on this limb here, it's going to have some little leaves. Little hanging down ones, and I haven't gone too far because I want to put some orange ones in there. Now, just in here, gentle. Got a lot of paint on the brush here. I've just been gentle so it shows the sky through. That's it, and then that comes right out over that. And then even down to this bottom part of this tree, it goes right down, and you can see it just there. Even on this side is the same. You know, just some branches which are got some limbs coming right down. In here I want to leave some of this light showing so that I can see them trunks going right through that still. Quite blocked in here. I guarantee you will really enjoy doing this tree. It's a lot of fun. I've just buzzed and really enjoyed doing that. And it's really simple the way that you do it. You just create the shape and then you follow it through. And so just on the right hand side of these, I want to actually indicate some orange leaves where the sun is just hitting them. The sun's just clipping over and hitting them. And you need this orange colour for that. See it just in there, bit in there. Keep this brush as clean as possible when you're doing this, because otherwise you'll end up turning it green with the colours we've got up there. Put a bit of sun up there, see that? Just on the edges. Same up there, just a little bit up in there, not a lot. Show a bit through there, maybe there's just glimmering through here and there. That's good. I'll make more of that actually, probably a bit later into the painting. I'll come back to it and I'll make a little bit more of this orangey effect we've got for them leaves. But the best thing that you can do is when you put the orange in, just come gently over it and put a bit of the dark into it. See, just like that.